Dr. Taj Hage is the imam of the Oxford Islamic congregation, the director of the Muslim Educational Centre of Oxford. He has written that the increasing fashion for young Muslim women in Britain to wear the burqa is one of the most sinister developments of our times. Interesting, brave statement. He joins us now by Skype from Oxford, England. Doctor, welcome to you. I've heard this statement made by people outside of the Muslim world or by completely lapsed Muslims, but for an Orthodox worshipping devout Muslim to say it, that's very unusual.
But it's the truth. I think what's important is that we should look at the elephant in the room and discuss the issues confronting the Muslim community. And I believe that this face mask, I don't dignify it by calling the face veil. The face mask, the hijab, the burqa are all evidence of fundamentalism and extremism rearing its ugly head in the United Kingdom.
This is fascinating because it seems to me, and I'm not a Muslim, but from my reading of Islam and other religions, the call is for modesty for men and women. But this goes much further. This is tribal and Arabian. It has nothing really to do with Islam.
Absolutely. So that's why this past week I've been calling for a Muslim-led campaign that will ban all face masking in the United Kingdom, not just the burqa and the niqab, but also things like ski masks and balaclavas and hoodies and anything that obscures in the individual's identity. And we feel that this face masking is a pre-Islamic custom originating firstly in ancient Persia, about 1200 years before the advent of Islam. Then it spread to Byzantium, ancient Byzantium, and when Islam arrived in those places, it then took up this local custom, which was originally introduced so that the nobility and the aristocrats could shield their women from the gaze of the hoi polloi and the peasantry. So this thing has got no Islamic basis whatsoever. It's a pre-Islamic custom, and for this reason we are absolutely opposed to it. And because it's pre-Islamic, and then it is non-Quranic, because you can't find the word niqab or burqa or anything of that sort in the Quran. Since it's pre-Islamic and non-Quranic, then ipso facto it is un-Muslim. And so for that reason, theologically, we are also very much opposed to this, because we believe it is a barrier, a separator between peoples, especially in a multicultural society like the United Kingdom. So we are very determined that this nationwide petition succeeds. Our aim is to have 100,000 signatures, so whereby we force and oblige the British government legally to introduce this matter to be discussed in the House of Commons in Westminster in London. So this is our aim, and we are appealing to Muslims, non-Muslims, Jedis, vegetarians, you name it, everyone to support this ban of public facial masking in the United Kingdom, something on the lines of what France and Belgium has already achieved.
Right, and let me ask you, because I agree with you. I think the veils are very anti-human. They assume that men cannot resist any woman they see. They make it impossible to have any dialogue or relationship or conversation. I disapprove it at every level, but there are some Muslims who support it. There are also many Muslims who will be angry of any criticism of any aspect of their culture. What are you hearing from other Muslims? Are they supporting you? Are they supporting you quietly? Are they actively supporting you? Or are they opposing you?
Well, this is interesting. I think, when we first started this, we had a campaign running since France banned the burqa 4 years ago. So we've been having a campaign called ABNI, A-B-N-I, standing for Anti-Burqa Niqab Initiative. And when we first launched it 4 years ago, we had a great deal of opposition. This time around, when we're actually now calling for the banning of the burqa, especially in the wake of the European Court of Human Rights. The court just ruled about 2 weeks ago that France and Belgium are entirely legally right to have a ban on the burqa and niqab in their jurisdictions. And so, since the highest court in Europe has now come out in favor of the ban of banning burqas, we feel this time is right for Britain to follow suit. And so, when we're launching this campaign now, we find that lots and lots of women, especially, and other Muslims are coming out and saying, yes, this is something that should not be done. This is not something that should be done in our name. I don't, and I think many liberal, open-minded Muslims, we don't have a problem people wearing the face veil or the mask, as I call it, if they say this is for private, personal reasons. But they don't say that. They always say it's part of their religion, it's part of their culture.
Let me ask you this. Would you make it illegal, though? I mean, would you have the police enforce a ban? If a woman is seen wearing a veil, that she would be arrested, charged?
Well, if you drive a car and you go through a red light, what happens to you in Vancouver? You know, the same thing should happen here. You know, if you break a civil law, there's a penalty. And yes, there may be some people would have, civil disobedience, whatever, but ultimately they cannot succeed because the majority, and I believe at least 80% or even more of the British public are supportive of this thing.
And what percentage of British Muslims do you think support you?
Right now, I would say, probably about 60% are in favor and 40% against. And the reason why the majority currently seems to be favoring face veiling and face masking and so forth, is because they follow the Goebbels adage. Hitler's propaganda minister said quite truly, quite tellingly, that the bigger the lie, the more you repeat it, the more the people believe. So the majority Muslim population in the UK and maybe even Canada or anywhere else, they are told by three major institutions in their community, the 3 M's I call it. The 3 M's being the mosques, the mullahs, the priests meaning, and the madrasas, the supplementary.
Doctor, I have to stop you there because we're running out of time, but we'll keep tabs on this. It's a very brave and fascinating, I think, important and timely initiative. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Bye-bye.